Well, oh my goodness, we are live. And I know it has been a while since we have streamed, since I have streamed. But uh, in order for me to stream, I have to kind of feel it, you know? I have to kind of need to stream so I can give you the best of of everything. Braden, what's going on? You're on. It's good to see you. But I have to kind of feel it. I have to kind of want to stream so I give you the best of what I can give you, which, I mean, I don't know how good it is, but at least where I feel that I'm doing something that I'm giving you as much as you give me, because you guys give me inspiration, and you guys make me want to come back and do it again. So you've been meaning to talk about something, but you'll let me talk. Hey man, this is all of us. This is all of us. Just because the only reason that all of us are together is because I'm here. That's it. That's the only thing. Just because I'm here, you could do this anywhere. You could do this on Fourscore's channel. You could do this on G's channel. There's a lot of other channels you could do it on, but I guess maybe right now, I mean, since I'm the one who talks predominantly about the paranormal, but no, man, I mean, if you want to talk about some funky stuff, hey, you're in the right spot because we're going to be talking about some funky stuff tonight. As everybody knows, I have Vanessa. Oh my goodness, it's Vanessa. Vanessa, I was waiting for you to show up. I don't do it often, apparently, but when I do, uh, it's always nice seeing you here. It really is. Hopefully, I talk about something that gives you interest. I mean, you can't say, oh, gee, Duke, you're more entertaining than Netflix, because, come on. It ain't that good. At least in my opine, it's not that good. But as long as it's slightly entertaining and makes you go, okay, all right, then I can handle with that. But yes, as you know, I've got this book. It's in digital form called The Blue Planet Project. And basically, it's an overview that started in 1946, I believe. An overview of the way things are and the way things are going, and to the best knowledge of what the United States knows about UFOs and aliens. And it's about 100 and what is it, 120, 130 page, 130 page book. And in there, it basically diagrams out how everything's going, what's working, who's doing it, where it's going, what it caused, And with this Blue Planet Project, this book that any of you um hold that thought for a second. Braden, I may have caught an orb on camera a week ago. You heard a noise in your kitchen. You saw an orb in your living room and it was floating around, and when you noticed it and said something, it went away. Aha. So did it give you that sense of that weird feeling, that sense of that there was somebody else there? Did it give you the weird feeling like, ooh, you know, that it was scary, or did it give you a sense of calm? sense of patience? What exactly did it give you? When you saw it, you knew there was a ghost in your apartment. There's a cemetery so close to your apartment. It was cool. Well, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's a good way to look at it. That's cool. Yeah. Because I mean, all a ghost is basically a person without a body. And it means that they have enough energy to show you that they're there. The basic essence of the soul. But at the same time, they don't have enough energy to fully show you. So yeah, so if you can see it and it's not a dust particle, and it's not a cobweb, or something like this, and you can actually see it, that's cool. They're showing you that they're there. So that is cool. That's real cool. Okay, but now what I was talking about the Blue Planet project, it basically goes into an outline, a forecast of the underground bases that are out there, are talking to aliens, and 23 different types and species of alien. Well, and that book's really old now. The Blue Planet Project. It's a book. That's its title, Blue Planet Project. And like I was saying, and it shows a lot of stuff, has a lot of diagrams, shows you the Majestic 12 hierarchy, the Majestic 12 being the people who are in charge of most things. That basically, as far as top secret clearances, that basically the president is a 19. Okay. And there's 26 total levels of clearance, security clearance, that the government has. And so the president's only a 19. So there's 7 levels of clearance higher than what the president, the most powerful man on the planet. So that tells you something. But anyway, it is available for anybody who wants a copy of it, because I do have it, and I will send it to you absolutely 100% free. That's right, free. No shipping costs, no handling costs, no other type of software charges, nothing. Absolutely free to anybody who wants it. All you got to do is go to the about page, go down to the bottom of it. Well, of course, it's all one page because there's not much on it. But if you go down there, you type it in, you get my email address, you send me an email and say, Duke, send me the Blue Planet Project, and I'll send you the copy. And then you could look at it and make up your own mind, which is all that I really want you to do anyway, is make up your own mind on what you see. Do some research on it. Check it out. And then come back here on a future stream and tell me what you think now. So anyway, along going with that, okay, is I found another book. Only this one is called The Alien Races. And this book here, called The Alien Races, is basically comes from the Russian KGB. And even in this book, it says in this book, you are forbidden of showing this book to anyone, talking about the book to anyone, talking about or revealing your investigative activities to anyone, drinking alcohol on and off duty, consuming drugs on and off duty. Well, there you go. That's a good one. Helping alien races no matter the situation or request, choosing sides when physically amongst different alien races or during investigations, and of engaging, here's all for all the pervs, and of engaging in sexual activities. Okay, sexual activities. There you go. That one's for Abe. With any members of any race. So you are forbidden to show the book to anyone, talking about the book to anyone, revealing your investigative activities to anyone, consuming alcohol on and off duty, consuming drugs on and off duty, helping any alien races, or engaging in adult activities with them. Okay, so that's there. And then you see the alien races. And it goes through and starts talking. Now, this is a digital book also of 184 pages. Okay, I'll say that then. Again, 184 pages of the alien races. And I know there's not a lot of people in here right now, but guess what? Because you showed up early, you're going to get to hear about it if you don't, if you want to. And so, BG, Braden, Vanessa, would you like to hear about some of the alien races? And it's a little more, some of them have hand-drawn photos. Some of them have look like what's photocopied pictures of these actual alien races. Because like for the first one, the Algruluk. Algruluk. That are commonly known as the Builders. Okay. Why are they commonly known as the Builders? Here you go. This is I couldn't make this up. I really couldn't make this up. They come from constellation sculptor. Gee, is that why they're called the Builders? Because they're sculptors? They derive from an ancient race of reptilians that has gone extinct. Okay, so their race has gone extinct, and they're specialists at building ships and other devices needed for deep space traveling. Well, that's new. They're also space travelers themselves searching for new raw materials. Okay, they can live up to 230 years, which, how would you know that? Some of these things make you go, okay. And last seen near Tokyo, Japan in 2005. Who saw them? I have no idea. Okay. Who can tell you that they saw them? Again, I have no idea. I'm just telling you what this book says. So you can see there's a little more than just, hey, we've got the gloppy jalopies here. It's a little more than just that. And it kind of tells you about these alien races. Like the next one here is the Kili Tukert. Okay. Kilytokurt. Kili Tukert. Okay, they come from the constellation Vela near the star Suhail al-Mulk. I didn't even know there was a star named Suhail al-Mulk. Well, we ought to check that one out. Google that. They grew up to 2 meters high, 6 foot, and live up to 200 years. They like cute little bubble-cheeked kids, really, is what they look like. Actually, they look like munchkins. They can shapeshift and are very hard to detect. When they shapeshift, the only thing they cannot change is the size and color of their eyes. Now, what the size and color of their eyes is, it doesn't say. When you know it, they're one of the oldest races. Now, here you go. Here's something unusual. No, it's not unusual now, but I mean, it is to see it. They do abduct humans. Huh, how would they know? Did they? Okay, here's a question. My question is, it says they do abduct humans. Okay. All right, fine. Could you, as a human being, and this is my question to everyone, I mean, all, however many's in here. My question is, if they do abduct humans, well, as a human being, if you were watching this Munchkin, and if you get the book, you have to check it out here. How could you watch a Munchkin abduct another human being and not go and kick the crap out of them? Seriously. How do you know they abduct humans? Did you watch it and do nothing? Del said, row. And how could you look at yourself in the mirror and know you watched a Munchkin abduct a human being for scientific experiments? Just, What's up, Delson? How are you? And I'm just kind of wondering, and last seen on Earth in July of 2008. Well, who saw them? Again, just kind of, you don't think you've been here since Area 51 situation. Well, Delson, I'm glad that you came by, because we're talking about the latest and greatest book from the Russian KGB called The Alien Races. And we're just going through just a couple, maybe one or two more of these books here that basically tell you it's been a busy. Yeah. That's without a doubt. It has been busy. Man, I got so much stuff going on right now, just in my little world, my little itty bitty tiny world of mine. That it's been 3 weeks since I streamed, and I mean, how I don't go that long very often. At least I hope not, because that would totally suck. But anyway, so we're talking about these races here, and just some of the ones that make you might go, I want to check this book out, because I am giving it away tonight and tonight only for free. All you got to do is send me an email and I send it to you. Pleiadians. They come from solar systems surrounding the Pleiades stars, more precisely from the planet Era near the star Taygeta, Taygeta, the star Taygeta. Okay? They are associated with spiritual growth. Oh, God, the Pleiadians are definitely evil Abe's go-to aliens. They can grow up to 2.5 meters, up to 8 foot tall. Okay? So we're talking Shaq size. In fact, even taller than Shaq. Maybe even, Andre the Giant. No, bigger than Andre the Giant. But yeah, there's some big suckers, let me tell you. Okay, here's why they're evil Abe's go-to aliens. And by the way, if you haven't gone over to Evil Abe's channel, you should. He's absolutely hilarious. A little adult, Okay, a lot adult, but definitely hilarious. Somebody you should at least check out once. Give it, subscribe to his channel, and then just go, oh, dude, I gotta hide the kids when I watch you. But he's very entertaining, also. Okay, Evil Abe's alien race, the Pleiadians, they practice sex cultivation. Okay, there you go. All for you, Abe. All for you. Practice sex cultivation, the distinct difference between their sexual expressions and their sensual emotions. Their ships are known as beam ships. Although regularly visiting Earth, they have remained mostly silent since 10,000 BC. Okay. They are one of the oldest known races. They continue to develop the necessary mental skills to eventually reach their goal. And their goal is an even higher spiritual state. So I guess they go with their physical state. And then by taking all of that energy, I don't know, emotion, all of that electrical energy, I don't know, or getting their auras in tone. Maybe they could be used also in order to achieve a higher spiritual state. So they're very like hippies in the 70s, in the 60s. They're looking for a higher state of consciousness, I guess. Let's see here. Let's find another good one. And the one thing I've noticed here, because I've gone through and I've looked at this book like a couple times, and the one thing is, the more creepy they look, the nicer they are. Whereas the more, I would say, human, but a more humanoid type of bodies, the more absolutely just horrific they are in the way that they act, in what they do, stuff like that. So it's kind of wild here. Now we've got one called the Kurs, Kurs, the Kurs. And they're believed to be related to the race Anunnaki. They come from the planet Dillamans, and they are the race behind the story of Enlil and Ninlil. Don't ask me. They were directly involved on the development of the human race during our early stages. Well, that's interesting. How do they know? Again, how do they know? Is my question. After centuries away from Earth, they have recently returned. Their own leader is amongst the most recent visitors. Okay. They will now stay on Earth permanently, as they will have an important role in the years to come. They spend time immersed in a precious gold-like liquid that presumably extends their lifespan. Okay, well, I need some of that stuff, Again, I got nothing to say on that one. But the one that I do have something to say is this part of aliens. They're the Hav Hanua Chondrus. Hav Hanu Chondrus. HAVHANNUAEKONDRAS. Okay, now how they got these names and how, I have no clue. Okay, no idea. But they come from the galaxy, oh God, Sexton's Dwarf SPH. How they come up with that name, okay, is beyond me. But they first visited Earth in 934 AD in the area we now know as Romania. in 934 AD in Romania. Okay. Now, this is the thing. Again, evil. Okay. They often abduct and kill humans. They also drain and drink the blood of humans as well as the blood of animals. They are responsible for the myth of vampires. Which comes to an interesting topic, really. You wonder, they say there's a little bit of truth into every type of situation, into every story that you hear, i.e., vampires. Who could think up something like that? Vampires. Think about that. If there was nothing like that, okay, if you didn't know about Dracula, all this other kind of stuff, how many people could actually come up with something like that? Just saying, just think about that. How could you come up with something like that? Like vampires, So Wesley Snipes could ride around on a hog and pull out silver shining things and stab people with it. The myth of vampires. Well, with this here, they have Hanu Kandras. It's kind of, just something to think about. Something that's probably full of junk, but still. Okay, they're responsible for the myth of vampires. Okay, you can have that one. Several human governments know and accept their actions. They do that to people every day as they go to work. Go here, go there, go here, go there, go here, go there. Oh, and 5 minutes ago. How am I supposed to? That's not our problem. Get it done. You're getting paid. Wow. Now, several human governments know and accept their actions. The human bodies that they use are never returned. And the last sighting was in Scotland in 1996. Well, isn't that special? You saw him in 1996. Sky's Dub. What's up, Sky? And this is just some of the really creepy stuff that is in this book. So if you want a copy of this book, of the 184 pages of pictures of things about the Mazarek that are known to be that are very violent and predatory race, or the messengers, or the Rameh, or, man, I can't even pronounce that one. The Shining Ones, that's what they call them. The Rock. 58 races. And the Rock are basically to be where the blue gin. There's a bunch. A whole bunch. Sure, man. Come on up, Sky. See what you got. So if you're interested in the book, let me tell you what all you got to do is find my email on this channel and send me an email. You send me an email and I'll send you a copy of the book. And it's free. So being free is a good thing. And being free, it means just that. It's free. Hello, mate.
What's up? YouTube still doesn't let me message on your streams, so
Sky.
What's up? Oh yeah. I actually found out that there's an interesting information though about the UFO. Apparently, in Mexico, there is an island that is protected by the UFO. Apparently, there's something about it. I don't know what, but they talk about it for like a week ago, I think, or a year ago. But I forgot to mention that. But yeah, apparently that island is kind of protected by the aliens themselves. There's a lot of secrets going on. Like you said, 58 races. I think there's more than just 58. I think there's way more than that, but we don't know for certain. There's more unknown. Unknown. You know, Experiences and experiences. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, you know what I mean by yeah. There's a lot of things that we don't know much about the UFO or the aliens or different races that we don't know much about. Like for example, the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, it might be aliens, and we don't know about them, right? And they say they are alien. They're not from Earth, so they arrive from Earth, but who knows, right? So there's a lot of things that we don't know much about. So and
Well,
by the way, how you
apparently,
doing, Duck? How you doing, Duck? And Clayton.
I'm
well,
doing good.
apparently, we seem to know more than I thought that we did. But the thing that gets me is okay. I really started to take it seriously. I mean, because I just thought, it was, special when I saw one when I was 8. Yeah, when I was 8. But and apparently, we know a lot more than I would have ever thought we had. But it really became something to me, uh, because you can always, I mean, anything that you see, you can go, oh, well, that wasn't real, and you can basically blow it off. But when I first discovered about the Betty and Barney Hill situation in 1961, that made me go, that's kind of interesting. How do we explain this? But when you get military pilots, okay, which I mean, military pilots are kind of like lions, okay, which they're basically the top of the food chain. Okay, it don't get any higher. But when you're talking about a military pilot, you're talking about the top of the food chain as far as they're the best of the best of the best. Okay, there's no greater pilot out there. I mean, you're talking about if there's anything a person can do to almost perfection, it's a military pilot. And when you get a military pilot standing there and telling you that they have seen, interacted with, been followed by, messed with for 4 years in a row, and no, we're not talking about one every year. We're talking about one every day for 4 years. Okay, there's something up with that. There
Yeah,
is got to be something up with that.
and Duke.
Yeah.
What I find a bit interesting is our government kind of just admitted to like, yeah, there's aliens, and about not a lot of people care about it. And I'm like, it was like, what?
There was something about that when you was saying about it. You know why the government don't know why the government kept the alien existence for a long time. It's because
Mass
it will
panic.
it will it will cause like chaos. It will cause massive massive panic. And they will be freaking out, right? But most people have seen it. If most people say, "Oh, I believe in aliens," I believe they're existence, right? So what if we have aliens in front of us and we don't know about them? See what I mean? Like they're just hiding and they're just observing us humans, like
Well,
the
yes.
humanity. You know,
Yes. Well,
they're like
I think
what you call it, watchers. Like they're like the watchers. The watchers. You know,
Yeah,
well,
in a
with
sense.
aliens, it seems to be a lot about water.
Well, you see,
Yeah, I mean,
with the
you know,
story
you're right.
with the book called The Blue Planet Project, they talked in there about the United States military space force. Up until then, I had never even thought about it. But they apparently, with our last president in office, Mr. Trump, announced that we do have a space force. That up until he had absolutely admitted it on camera on a live function
What was it, interview?
and admitted it. That was the first time I'd ever even heard about it.
I've seen, because I'm in ROTC. It's also on YouTube. I got the pleasure to see some of their training, and their physical is horrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking a lot. What is this one? The reason why the government has, you know, always have this hidden secret, right? They always have these advanced technology, right? What if the whole entire government, all entire country, not just America, right? Mexico, you name it all, right? And all the, you know, all the government have their own secrets that say, hey, we have this powerful weapon, yada yada, right? And we don't know much about it, and they just don't want to tell us, right? Because you know it would date back in the and like in the 50s or like in the 40s, and we don't know nothing about it, right? So they call it the top secret for a reason, right? So we can't even get onto the top secret because they don't want us to know, because they don't want to cause a massive panic on the people or the public. Like right now, like the Space Force is kind of like it's being works, for years it's being worked. It's a secret that Mr. Trump will say, "Oh, we are, I'm going to announce the Space Force and yada yada," right? And then every freaking government has their own secret weapons and their own secret plans, like the spaceship. Let's put it this way: what if we have man-made spaceships and we don't know nothing about it? Think about it. Is it
Well, yeah,
possible?
well, that's just
Relatively?
it. In the Blue Planet Project, the book, it already talks about that at that writing, we had what was it?
Oh, hello, Pesuro,
Hey,
by the way.
Pseudo.
Yes,
Hey,
I was about to say,
Momo.
what's up?
Hi, Momo.
We
got
had
this
we
back.
already have 5 motherships and 43 little bitty spaceships already in space as a part of our
Wait. What? Motherships?
yeah, we have 5
Motherships?
motherships
Whoa.
and we have 43 little X-wing ships that are in the motherships that fly around, and that's basically going around in a circle protecting the Earth from outside interference. But we are already also actually talking to and in I don't know what you would call it, but we're already talking to the aliens, and they're located on lots of different places. But we're in there. They're in the planet already, but that we're also on the dark side of the moon, in their bases and talking with them. Now,
Yeah,
supposedly,
that's what you're right. You were saying that you're on point right now, right there. Though, like we don't know who we talk to. Because sometimes
but
like yeah, like for example, like the bodyguard, on the video they caught of the reptilians. What if the reptilians are trying to enslave us and the aliens are just trying to prevent it? You see what I mean? People think, oh, the aliens
yes,
are bad. But the thing is, it's the way around, right? So the more we think about it, the more like it goes. It's a deep concept,
well,
like
Sky,
Casino just
Sky,
said.
how did we act when the coronavirus pandemic first came into view? How did we do? We all hid up in our homes.
Almost crumbled the economy. Like
it
we've
almost
almost crumbled the economy like 4 separate times.
yeah, the economy almost completely went under 4 separate times, and Nobody went outside of their house. I mean, we absolutely panicked.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We panicked. Okay. Well, imagine you got some green thing walking down the middle of your street that looks absolutely nothing like anything you've ever seen before. What are we going to do? We're going to freak out. Because that's what we do. And I believe that this experience with Corona is going to help bring us up a level as far as not tripping when something we experience that we don't understand it becomes exposed to us. Because we failed miserably when it came to the corona pandemic.
No, you're right. You're right.
We're only now, it took us 2 years to actually come under some type of calm after all of this happened. And the biggest thing is now this new variant of Corona. I think it's called Corona Light, which it's not, but that was a bad joke. With Corona Light here is the fact,
that's a good one.
It doesn't matter whether you've been vaccinated or not. You can still get it.
Actually, the vaccination will not help either. It will make it worse though. And because of coronavirus is actually evolving. Like the heat is kind of helping it because you don't know what type of biological was put on in the virus, and it makes it worse. But I was thinking a lot. What if we have this cold weather? The cold weather make it weaker. It would not evolve eventually. You know what I'm saying? But the Chinese, I think the Chinese, the communists made it as a biological warfare on us to wipe out the humanity out, like the population. And
we've got
that's what I'm thinking.
We've got 700,000 people have passed from this.
Oh, here's a question. I think Pacito got a question though. What if one group or nation go in touch with advanced civilization and the government of today have no control or contact with them?
Pseudo, that would absolutely make them have to change their shorts, because that's how much panic there would be with all the rest of everybody else who wasn't in the know with this group or this nation who did get in touch. That's why they're all in touch. I mean, you got to look at it, man. I mean, and this is excellent.
Oh, here, Vanessa. I think Vanessa moved now. Or the emojis. I think emojis.
Oh, Vanessa's hanging. She's telling you, I'm with you. I'm with you. And it's an interesting topic because it's an interesting point.
Here's a question though. I was thinking a lot. What
the Germans did just that? Yes, the Germans did just that.
How come the Germans actually, the Nazis actually experiment, have their own labs, secret labs, in different worlds and different countries we don't know about? You see what I mean? They were planning to make superhumans out of them, right? So in a war against, America, and all the different countries, right?
Yeah.
So, they were on verge of, conquering the whole entire world, to make it their own. But it would have been a catastrophe, a bad one.
When you think about it, because as you all know, that I feel that there are aliens among us. And the one place where there are aliens among us right now is Switzerland. Because there's a group of aliens that look just like the Icelandic people. With the light-colored hair, the facial features, yeah. And so I'm like, oh, okay, maybe. All right. Yeah, they look Icelandic. But at the same time, when you start thinking about it, think about the world as we know it today. Look at it all the way back, and you can Google this. Google this all the way back to the 1900s. Is there any time in known history that anybody has attacked Switzerland?
I was thinking a lot when Switzerland was attacked a lot, right?
I
Go ahead,
believe it was,
Clayton.
And I'll give you the answer.
I remember. It was either
None. Switzerland has never been attacked at any time by anyone in any known form of war at all, ever. In fact, Hitler used Switzerland as a place to take a vacation.
So that's true. That's true. He did actually. Yeah.
Hitler did not attack Switzerland.
I think that I think I know why. The reason why the Switzerland and Germany have so much in common is because they have both the same ancestry of the Vikings. You know what I mean? Switzerland, even including Iceland, Icelandic, right? They have
Yeah.
three of the most different clans of Vikings, even including Danish, because the four of them have a lot in common of a century, right? So the Viking century is there, it's undeniable. But when you said about the aliens looking like Icelandic, I
Yeah.
kind of like thinking about it, like what? Wow. Some
Yeah.
of us may have aliens in us. We don't know about it. Wow, that's mind blowing right there, though. So thinking about it, it's mind blowing.
Like Pseudo says. Christy Marie Sheldon says she prayed and Nordic types showed up in her front room, told her they would teach her to heal people. There you go. I mean, now what does that say? What that says is that when Nordic, which Icelandic Nordic people show up in her living room and so they teach her how to heal people, there's something to it. The whole thing is the people that are in Switzerland who are, you'd never know it. You never will. You'll never will. But the fact that since Viking times, after that, nobody has ever attacked Switzerland at all, ever.
I was thinking a lot. I may have Viking DNA because the Danish blood from my mother's side. I may be related to the Swiss, to Swiss people. I may be related to the Iceland people. And there's a lot of I don't know about myself. There's a lot of century that I don't know about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's mind blowing. I'm totally related to the Germans because Germans are Viking as well.
Well,
There's
Scott,
a lot of relationships. Yeah.
I
What's up?
a good percentage of my heritage, like 25%, is Nordic and Irish, Swede, German.
Well, let's see here.
And then was me very related then, because the thing is Turkey is actually mixed with the Vikings actually, and I didn't know that until I was reading the book, right? There's a book of about the Native American mixture, right? I was looking around. I was looking around for my heritage, because I'm mixed, right? Not everybody's full blood, not everybody, you know what I mean, right? So there's a lot of things that we don't know much about our centers. Kind of learn a bird of learning, right? So what were you saying, Luke?
Well, it's just like Pseudo said, if you look at a language chart, many nationalities are closely related. I mean, and that's true. When you look at, say, for an example, people in parts
I
of South
really gotta
America,
look at it.
people in
I
South
really gotta do.
America, if a person from a part of South America speaks Spanish, their dialect will be different than somebody who's in Mexico. Now, mostly they will be able to understand it, but there will be phrases, there will be words that they can't understand because it's different areas. So
Uh, yeah,
Again,
no, check this out. Check this out. My dad, you know me, my dad's Mexican, right? Apparently,
right.
there's also a community in Mexico. There's also Chinese Mexican. There's also a Arabic Mexican. There's a variation of different races in Mexico. There's also Russian. There's also Sweden. From people from Sweden. They like to stay over there in Mexico. And there's also many communities in Mexico. But the thing is, like you said, Spanish. There's a lot of variation on different accents. Like the Bavarian. There's a bunch of different types of in Central America and all the way to South America. And in Brazil they speak Portuguese, but it's closer to related to the Spanish, right? So if you think about it, you see the Portuguese and Spanish kind of look similar, right? So when I talked to a Portuguese person and they said, "Oh, I'm from Brazil," and I said, "I'm from here, but I was born here, right? So I'm mixed, but I know what I'm talking about. I'm multilingual. I understand." and and it mind blows me that like the Pasito said, if I look at the language chart, it's closely related, and he's right. And the whole world is kind of related in a sense. Like we just like we let ourselves sort of apart because we have different cultures and different set of mind on religion, etc. Right? So we shouldn't be a divided. We should be more united than ever, right? So yeah, you know, I just I'm just speaking my mind out a little bit. You always, yeah, go ahead. You guys go ahead.
Well, anyway, the whole thing is that if there's anybody out
I
there,
like to speak my mind. I like to speak my mind a
oh,
little
that's
bit. Like,
fine.
what's
That's
my
fine.
mind?
I don't
Go
mind. But if there's
ahead,
anybody
man.
out there who does want a copy of this book, email me and I'll send you a copy of the book. Like I said, it's 184 pages. It basically goes into everything, explains everything, uh, and it's pretty
Wait,
well.
wait, what? There is a story of Marie people that live near Australia tell a beautiful story that the history of coming from India. They stopped in South America for a bit, 165 generations ago, because of dark skin. A lot of them, so they left. Left that proof that we are not all one people. Well, actually, it's most likely like let's just put it this way. There's a lot of I don't know. In New Zealand, there's a lot of tension between the Samoans and Tongans from what I read. They kind of don't like each other, right? There's one Marie or someone who actually told me that they don't really like each other in New Zealand because of the century differences of some reason. I don't know why, but like like in Mexico, the Argentinians are not like Mexicans. I don't know why, but they just have these differences that they hate each other, because of the superiority of the culture. You know what I'm saying, like, like for a reason I don't know why we have this thing, that type of thing, but I don't know. It goes back maybe a census. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't know.
Australian
It
Americans
appears that
are
when
genetically
when
much older
somebody
than Africans.
when
Huh?
somebody gets a DNA test and they go in and they get it to find out where they come from, who they are, and they
Yeah,
get
that's
their
what that's what
DNA
I was
test
thinking
back,
about. I want to do the DNA test because
they
I'm kind of curious
seldom
about what I am.
seldom come out as, oh, you're 100% Latin American, you're 100% come from Africa, you're 100% come from Europe, from Scandinavia, from all these different places. It's generally you're a melting pot of a whole lot of races.
Yep.
I mean,
Hmm.
you could have 23% European, 16% Italian, 12% English. Yeah, we're very seldom ever like 80% one thing. We're a melting pot. It doesn't matter. I mean, the way I look at it is that there's like this. There's two species on this planet. There's human beings and those you avoid. That's about it. You know,
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Hmm.
you know, I mean, we're all human beings for the most part. Uh, and then there are people who you should just stay away from because they're not in a good place.
Yeah, you mean
Yeah.
like a bad influence people? Yeah,
Oh yeah,
been
you know,
there.
they're just,
Yeah, been there, done that place. Yeah, I don't want to be go there again. Nope, nope,
you
nope, nope,
know,
nope.
yeah. I mean, I think all of us at one point or another, except maybe Clayton, uh,
Um,
who have been
Nah, I think
places,
Clayton is just chilling. I think he's just chilling right now. Yeah.
been places and done things that we probably wouldn't want anybody to know about.
You
You
know,
know,
I think I noticed. I think I
I
noticed. I
hmm,
think
I actually
Clayton
do have one of
last
those
name
that I'd
said
rather
not
not
Hunt.
go, but
I was
okay,
gonna
well,
say
you
that.
have one thing. You have one
Uh,
thing. Okay,
it's a
you know,
start.
I was
no,
gonna say
it's
that.
just
Sorry.
not, it's not something you should probably do. Period. You know, some of us
Yep.
just make lots of mistakes. Some of us make a whole bunch of mistakes, and some of us
Errors.
make mistakes that we can't recover from. You
The
know,
errors.
those are generally the
Humans
people
make
who are
errors.
in our
Mhm.
federal
You know.
penitentiary.
Yep. I've
You
been
know,
on juveniles many times, and not a good place to be there. Nope. 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 Nope.
no, no, no. But you know, but even when if you make mistakes when you're a kid, like you
Yep.
go in and you go, man, oh, I sure want that. I don't have enough money to buy that. Well, I'll just take it. You know,
And
because
then
I
they
want
caught
it,
you. They be saying you this. Just
and
say
you
that.
get caught.
And then yeah, I mean, you're not doing anything wrong. I mean, you just wanna pay it back. I mean, you get the money, you just choose the word, but they don't believe you. Oh, because they're Mexican. Oh, that's right, right. Oh, because they're
No, it's just
brown.
because you shouldn't be
No,
trying to walk out of something
I'm
that you
just
ain't
saying.
paid for.
I'm just saying. Like like they think, oh, you're Chicano. They'll be like, yeah, okay. Why does race really matter? I want human. That's what I ask, but they don't. They don't even want to respond to that. You know what I'm saying? Like I always try
I
to.
don't even know. I don't even know why they would say that one group of people are more likely to do something than others because no. Oh, pseudo.
Yeah,
Come on up,
Sudas had
pseudo.
like a bunch of questions,
Hey,
and we've both
Pisito.
been here on a rant.
But we all make mistakes, So there are times in our lives when we're in a place where you probably
Shouldn't.
where
Yeah.
other people shouldn't hang around you because you're not doing anything that uh, are in the right state in your head where people should hang out with you because all you're going to do is get them
Uh,
in trouble too.
yeah, basically, you don't belong in the circle. You just have your own circle. Like make your own circle. That's what
You
what
know,
that's what all natives say.
yeah. I mean, we all get in places in our lives where we're not in a right frame of mind for people to hang out. I mean,
There's
when you're
also
going through things,
there's
when you're going
also
through things like a
yeah.
family member dying, or you're going through things when you get older in life and you go into a divorce, or you're going through things like, okay, you've been in a bad car wreck. There are places when you go, when you get into places where, yeah, it may not be a good thing for anybody to be around you until you
um
can get yourself out of it,
you mean
And by the way,
like a dark place, like a
but
dark
yeah,
place?
like a dark place, yeah. People just shouldn't be around you because you're not where you would be able to effectively deal with somebody in a positive light. And if somebody hangs out with you, they're only going to go in a dark place with you.
Edgar Casey
Eh,
wouldn't
oh,
Edgar Casey wouldn't even sit down and eat with somebody if they had gotten in an argument with somebody 3 to 4 hours before showing up
there you go.
because
Yeah, that I kind of
he
have
could
that
sense the
part
energy and
for
didn't
so.
want it rubbing off on him,
Yeah.
right? And basically said nobody should eat tired, uh, upset anymore. Like no, not angry or stressed out or anything. You got to calm down before you eat or after even.
Yeah, and that's a good. That's Edgar Casey. That's the man.
Well, the funny thing is, he said a lot of things that he didn't. He just said you shouldn't drink coffee with orange juice or cereal and milk with orange juice. Oh, coffee with milk. That was it. And cereals and milk with orange juice. And he said all these different things that people shouldn't do. He never said why. He just told people not to do it. And then many, many years later, scientists said, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. So,
Exactly.
They don't learn till they learn, right? That's what you're trying to say, right? They don't learn till they learn, right? The hard way. In a sense.
You know, and the whole thing is, if somebody could learn from the mistakes that I've made, man, it would certainly make all the mistakes that I made a little easier to deal with, because that means that somebody else didn't go through them, or have to experience what I experienced. Somebody was I almost be willing to say somebody was smarter than me, and somebody went, dude, that's stupid. I ain't doing that. That would be cool, because it would mean
I
that
mean, if people say that, then yeah.
somebody positively. That they learned from my mistake and said, well, I ain't doing that.
I
You know,
understand what you're saying, but in a sense, in theoretical sense, it's kind of a waste of time to talk about what you shouldn't do. The positive example would be the best form, right? Show people what to do,
oh, that's a good one. Oh,
right?
that's good.
Priscilla,
But
when you wrote the part, made me think about the history. I didn't even know about that. Like what? Wow. The history has its own darkness. Its own dark side that we don't know much about, and there's a lot of history that we don't know much about it. Like Asian history. There's so much on involved. In a sense.
I didn't quite catch all of that. But a lot of what I go looking for is basically stuff that's been forgotten or pushed off to the side. Because even Edgar Casey said that gems and crystals were a forgotten science, not like black magic or white magic or anything like that. Right?
Hey, say that again.
Well, he was talking about gems and crystals, and he
Yeah.
said that they give off a
No, I was not
vibration.
saying about. No, I said Maurice. I was talking about the whole race thing. The whole related race thing. When you said about the dark skinned people would should slaughter them, like
Your
maybe
mic's
that
too close to hey, your mic's too close to your mouth. I can't understand hardly a word you're saying.
dude, it's far away. Can you hear it now?
I
It's
can
not.
hear
It's
you.
far away. It's
That
far
sounds a
away
little
right
better.
now.
That sounds a
I
little
put it
better.
far away right now.
Okay, go
Yeah.
good. Now I can
Yeah,
hear you
that's
better.
good.
I said that you said the Marines, right, was killed by dark skinned people, right? There must be a tribe that like the Marines, and
I didn't want to get racial, but that was the story.
no, it's understandable because I actually talked to for an actual Samoan, right, and he told me that the Samoans and Togans do not like each other for a reason, for they have war in New Zealand apparently, for the a whole central ideal, like tribal with against tribe, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's always a tension, like for example with the Turks and the other races, they don't like each other and they want to kill each other, you know what I mean? The type of tribal against tribal,
Yeah.
thing, you know.
Yes.
Tribalism has worked for eons. The only time tribalism doesn't work is when one group runs out of resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works because you can do whatever you want over there, and me and my group can do what we want over here, and there shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, a perfect example is Thanksgiving.
In
Perfect
Canada,
example.
they actually do celebrate it there over there. But
Because,
in
well, no,
here,
with Thanksgiving, I mean, Thanksgiving basically occurred because uh, people from Europe, England, rowed the boat, over to America, developed an outpost. The Native Americans who were here helped them learn about growing their own grains, wheats, corn, stuff like this. So what did they do? They made beer. Instead of making food, they made beer. They got drunk, they stayed drunk, and then when they ran out of the resources, then they were like, "Oh, what are we going to do for food? The winter's coming up. Oh no, what are we going to do?" So what did they do? They slaughtered 700 Native American men, women, and children and took their resources. And that's why they celebrated Thanksgiving. It was a day to give thanks for getting what they needed to make it through the winter. And that's the true definition of Thanksgiving as written down by an Indian chief. And it's currently in a book in the Library House of Congress. That's what happened. That's what Thanksgiving is truly all about. The death of 700 men, women, and children. And why? Because one tribe, the Europeans, ran out of resources and didn't know what to do, so they went against another tribe and took theirs.
And then the cycle repeats, right?
And then, so like Pseudo said, tribalism has survived for many millennia until one runs out of resources. And then, okay, well, it's time to go get theirs. Or how can we get? And that's how that happens. So
there's a story of the Chinese building this massive ship. I guess it was really, really big, made of wood. And there was basically a whole flotilla. And the emperor went out. He took a whole bunch of resources, gems and crystals and gold and literature and art, and he took a bunch of stuff with him. And he went around the world supposedly, and he was gifting people stuff just to be generous, right? He thought it would be a good thing to do. And after traveling around and around and around, he realized after I think he went back. To get the story right, I think he went home and did this a couple times, picked up more resources and stuff, and went out and visited another group on another area long away from home, and went back home again. And after a while, he realized, oh shit, I'm bringing stuff home. And he realized he was bringing ideologies home because all of his people were talking to the locals in all these places. And when they come home, they would tell their families these stories they heard. And it freaked him out so much, they had what they call a moment of reflection, and they closed the borders for 200 years so that they didn't lose control of their own society.
Oh wow! Wow.
What about the Mongolians though? Didn't the Mongolians also conquer Asia as well? Through war. The Mongols.
Yeah, well, they had a big.
The Mongolians.
I forget what his name. Something Khan.
Yeah, Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan. Thank you.
Yeah.
He was not the best guy.
No.
But one thing he did do was unite Mongolia.
Yeah.
They had a big fight with the Arabs too. They almost wiped them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he almost, in fact, he took over, like, what was it, 3/4 of the entire world's? 3/4 of the entire land populace. He owned it all.
I can tell you a story about Genghis Khan that you can look up that very few people know about. It's coming out now. That he had blue eyes and red hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Blue eyes and red hair.
Yeah.
That's a bit uncommon, but
yeah, that's okay.
He wasn't Chinese, is what I'm trying to say.
He wasn't.
So he wasn't Asian at all.
What was he? What was he? Was he Viking?
He was probably Celtic.
Really?
Well, they
Oh,
found
you mean
the pyramids, and they put all those trees over that they're trying to hide over there.
Yeah.
They have dug some of that, and they found a mummified body. It was 4,000 years old or something, give or probably plus,
Hmm.
and it had red hair and had a plaid kilt on.
Oh, come on. No.
I'm not even
Really?
kidding you. Now you can look it up. History's about to get blown apart here. It's losing that blown apart. It seems on all fronts, timelines, areas, everything. But
Yeah,
that's
one
Does
thing
seem
one-
that does seem to be doing that.
Yeah,
We
what's
seem
been
to be-
happening lately is a lot of people don't want to look at history, and then it's starting to repeat itself.
Well, yeah, it is repeating itself, but the whole thing is everything that they told you about in school about this and the way this was and the way this other was and the way this was and everything is turning out to be completely different, from than what they taught you in school.
You want to know what my theory about that really is?
What?
Because looking at science, this group of people, whoever they are, that control most of this, they have idols from the past, from their group, 300, 500 years ago. I'm not even kidding. They idolize them so much, they're actually trying to prove what they said right to this day, even though they can't prove it right. They refuse to give up. So they just squash anything else until they can prove their narrative correct. It's just that I broke it down to be that simple. They have a storyline, a prediction, like a prophecy or something, and they are going to come hell
And
or high
it's going to
water,
be
prove that they're right, even though
and
they're
it's
not.
going to be right or dadgummit, nobody else is.
And it's 100% wrong because it's on every front. Depending on what area you're looking in, the story is falling apart, right?
Wow. Well, that pretty much blows everything out the water.
Well, timelines, the whole thing, yeah, it's all out of whack.
Yeah, everything.
Again, just to throw Edgar Casey in here again, he made a prediction that there's 3 Hall of Records that have the real history, like that goes all the way back.
Uh,
Yeah, and he says there's 3 Hall of Records, and that 2 men and a woman would find one, and supposedly it's by the Sphinx or pyramid or something. So don't tell me when they hear this stuff, they aren't digging around underground. They're everywhere looking for it. I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't found one already, right?
well, I was surprised because they always said that there was one down in the base of the feet of the Sphinx.
Under the feet somewhere, yeah. But
Yeah,
that
under
wouldn't
the
be that
feet
hard to
somewhere.
find with LiDAR and radar and all the whatever the tools they got today, and underground boring machines. Like if they really wanted to get somewhere, they could get there, right?
Yeah, and that they still haven't found it, and they've been looking, and they've actually dug underneath the feet.
Well, they've
And,
dug in. They've cracked holes in the head of that Sphinx and the leg and the back and like about 3 or 4 or 6 places on the Sphinx itself. They've been digging in there trying to see what's going on.
trying to find this Hall of Records.
Well, it's
Hey,
been
dude,
refurbished anyway, right? So they don't give it as much reverence as we do because they know it's been refurbished. Like you can find a black and white picture of it buried in sand, and it's got a whole bunch of grooves in the face because the sand has been basically sandblasting it.
Yeah,
Like it's had a facelift. Like some people
yeah.
even say that the dog, the face used to be way different, and they just wanted to change it, so they did. They just carved it differently. But that's a theory.
Well, I mean, if you look at the picture from like 50 years ago and you look at the picture now, it's way different.
Well, one of the craziest theories I heard about the Sphinx is that those grooves on the side of the Sphinx and even on the side of the wall, because they had to take out big blocks to make that level because there's a side hill there, and they took
Yeah.
those blocks and they moved them up and used them somewhere else. They've done tests, they could tell, blah, blah, blah. But the grooves on the side of that incline says that water was in there splashing, which means that changed the timeline, right? Because they know they can roughly predict when the Nile was over there and how long it would take for the Nile, because the Nile actually went right by it. And then now zigzagging through the sand actually has moved like something like 25 miles away now. But it's on top of a limestone where water used to go up and down. They figured that gave it some type of charge.
Yeah.
The same reason that Warden Cliff that Tesla built was on limestone water, and they figured that he knew something about it, and that basically Warden Cliff was a metal version of a pyramid or something. I don't know. A lot of theories out there.
Fun fact, most of the pyramids weren't built by slaves.
Go ahead. Tell me more.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So, I've been watching some stuff. Most of them were paid while like building. And a good bit of them, there were still slaves that built it, but a good portion was just people that were in the society working.
I think there's two histories to the pyramids, right? Because they were like a very positive thing. I think they actually give off a positive energy, and everybody's happy and got along. And there's a story about how these some shepherds came in, and everything went downhill after that.
Yep.
And I think a lot of the stories of the negative stories are what happened after they took over. But again, I'm not a huge history buff, so.
Yeah, actually, most of the people that actually worked on the pyramids are buried next to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, in the news was telling that the Egyptians found more mummies than ever. You know, I saw the whole thing. I'm like, what? For real? The whole mummy, the lost mummy, mummified.
Yes.
That was kind of
Yes,
interesting.
they have.
Like,
They are finding a lot of them. In fact, they're finding them in weird places.
yeah, like in places that they don't even
They're
see it,
fine.
right?
Normally they thought mummies and the mummy and everything was in the Middle East, but they're finding mummies in China. They're finding them in South America. They're finding them in Europe. That they're finding them in all over, and it's said to be that was a way that people buried their dead.
Old maps show sea monsters on them out in the Atlantic Ocean or whatever, way out in the middle.
Yeah.
There's a theory or story that the Carthaginians had control of this information, and they had the maps, and they made the maps just like to scare fishermen from getting too far away from the coast.
Yeah.
Because they had actually been coming across to America and grabbing copper and shit forever, and were basically the top of their society over there is because they were so rich in resources. They could make a lot of blades and whatnot from it.
Well, yes,
and they kept everybody away. And what if this goes back even before the Carthaginians? What if there was a whole group of people that had control of basically 7/8 of the place, had the pyramids up everywhere, and then that the rest of the people were tucked down in one area or whatever, and like you say, something happened, and maybe it started in India, I don't know, but maybe something happened where the dark-skinned people did run a rampage and head north, because the light-skinned people were in the north and dark-skinned people were in the south. And even to this day, if you Google pictures of northern Indian people and southern Indian people, there's a visible difference. Anyway, the Maoris said that they just booked off in boats and got basically got as far away as they could.
Well, possibly, they came down from, at the time, they came down from Russia into Alaska and then down into Canada and even as far as America, around the Wisconsin area and also around in the New York area, and developed camps.
Like, what if one group of people were moving around on foot and they could move, get a lot of places, but what if another group were on boats and they were literally booking long distances, right? Like, America has some of the most America is riddled with rivers. There's rivers basically trenching all the way from the bottom south side and west side, they basically go up at a 45-degree angle all the way almost, and one I think does come all the way into Canada. And that's how you guys got so good after World War II, or even before World War II, is because you guys can make a lot of stuff and just float it down the river, right? Well, what if there was an ancient group that came up those rivers on boats? Because they have found like different artifacts in different places. I won't get into them because it sends us off in too many different directions. But I'm thinking that people were coming here. I just don't know for how long or who or why exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot when you said about Canada. Apparently, I found out from another Turkey that I know of, another Turkey Indian, right? That I know of, right? Personally, he told me that most of clans actually divided. Half of them went to the Canada, and that's where different tribes come from, apparently. And I didn't even know that till like now. Like he told me, and I'm like, what for real? And he goes like, yep. There was a 13 clans, right? So, you divide clans in a halfway, one goes to Canada, and like you said, the rivers. And that's what made me think about the rivers. The rivers always connected to the land, and, rivers connect to another river, you know? Like, if you think about it, like, what if our entire tribe visit one another, but we don't know anything about them more the history, and it's still, not clear as we think. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a lot
Hey
to
guys,
learn.
guys, I'm sorry, Sky. I hate to interrupt. My
But
wife just fell, and she's on the floor.
Oh shit!
And yeah, I have to go. We'll start this up maybe tomorrow night, but I have to go. I'm sorry. Thank you
Cut
for
her short.
listening
We
in.
understand.
That's all right. Be safe, man.
yeah,